Good afternoon, everybody. Live today from Tiju's Academy, Tiruvalla. Hope you guys are doing good. So let's start today's session. And today I'm going to discuss about some common mistakes that we usually do in the speaking session. In the Mumbalate sessions, I've talked about some tips and strategies how to speak on IELTS. Speaking examination എങ്ങനെ നമ്മൾ IELTS നല്ലപോലെ ക്രാക്ക് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്ന ടിപ്സ് ആയിരുന്നു കൊടുത്തത്. So today I'm going to discuss how I would like to give you some details on some common mistakes that I see usually in the speaking sessions and how we can overcome that and how we can change that. So let's go over and start off with our first slide. ആദ്യത്തെ സ്ലൈഡ് നമുക്ക് നോക്കാം എന്താണത് പറയുന്നത്. So what's the first slide saying? Let's see. Answering appropriately. Right, എന്താണ് responding to a question with silence. So for example, നമ്മളോട് question ചോദിക്കുക, നമ്മൾ silent ആയിട്ട് ഇരിക്കുക. So what do we do here? So let's see. When you don't quite understand, don't know what to say, or you need time to think, it's quite common to respond with silence. However, the examiner won't know if you are thinking, don't understand, or can't respond because you don't have enough vocabulary. So നമ്മൾ എന്താണ് ചെയ്യേണ്ടത്? So when you are given a question, you are silent and you are thinking, examinerന് മനസ്സിലാകുന്നില്ല എന്താണ് നിങ്ങൾ ചെയ്യുന്നത്, are you thinking, or നിങ്ങൾക്ക് മനസ്സിലായില്ല, you are not responding, right? Because it can be a reason that you don't have enough vocabulary. So what do we do in that scenario? നമ്മൾ എന്താ ചെയ്യേണ്ടത്? So make sure, let's go to the second slide and see what that says. Learn some standard responses and practice these very often so you can use them when you need time to think. ഞാൻ നേരത്തെ if you all remember before ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ട് that whenever you need to talk, when you need some time, use some phrases. ഇവിടെയും ഞാൻ അതാണ് പറയുന്നത്. That's an interesting question, I need some time. അങ്ങനെ പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് on the back of your head you are thinking as to how to go ahead and answer. So കുറച്ച് phrases ആണ്. That's an interesting question. Well, I suppose. Sorry, could you say that again? So make sure you don't stay silent. കുറേ നേരം മിണ്ടാതിരിക്കല്ലേ. Keep on interacting or conversing with the examiner. So these are some of the phrases, and there are plenty, there are many more that you can see if you just go to Google type you can see many phrases. അത് നമ്മൾ ഓർത്ത് പ്രാക്ടീസ് ചെയ്യുക. And instead of keeping a long pause or keeping silent for a long time, go ahead and always use this. This will help you, and the examiner will also be engaged, and he or she is going to give you good scores on it. Right? Okay. നമുക്കിനി അടുത്ത സ്ലൈഡിലോട്ട് പോയിട്ട് നോക്കാം. അടുത്ത സ്ലൈഡ് എന്താണ് പറയുന്നത്? ഫ്ലാറ്റ് മോണോട്ടോൺ പ്രൊനൗൺസിയേഷൻ. ഇതിന് മുമ്പ് ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു പ്രൊനൗൺസിയേഷൻ ഓൾസോ ഹാസ് 25% മാർക്സ്. നമുക്ക് പ്രൊനൗൺസിയേഷനിൽ 25% മാർക്സ് ബാൻഡ് സ്കോർ ഉണ്ട്. സോ for a higher band score in the pronunciation criteria of the speaking test, you need to demonstrate pronunciation features like linking words, stress, and intonations. If you remember, I think not only in the past, in many of my live sessions that I did before, avade ella njan idu paranjittunde. Don't be flat, and make sure when you're practicing your pronunciations, you pronounce those words clearly and the correct way. And ഞാൻ കുറേ എക്സാമ്പിൾസും തന്നിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. ദ കോമൺലി മിസ്പ്രൊനൗൺസ് വേർഡ്സ് പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് ഒരു ലൈവ് സെഷൻ ഞാൻ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട് ബിഫോർ. ആൻഡ് ഇൻ ദോസ് ലൈവ് സെഷൻസ് ഐ ഹാഡ് ഗിവൻ മെനി കോമൺലി മിസ്പ്രൊനൗൺസ് വേർഡ്സ് ദാറ്റ് വി യൂഷ്വലി പ്രൊനൗൺസ് ഇൻ എ റോങ് വേ. സോ മേക്ക് ഷുവർ ഇൻ യുവർ പ്രാക്ടീസ് സെഷൻസ് പ്രൊനൗൺസിയേഷൻ നല്ലപോലെ നമ്മൾ നോക്കുക. ഓക്കെ, ടോപ്പ് ടിപ്സ് ഫോർ ദാറ്റ്. ലിസൺ ടു എ ഷോർട്ട് ക്ലിപ്പ് ഓഫ് എ നേറ്റീവ് ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് സ്പീക്കർ. An accent is not a problem. Any accent is fine. It can be an American or a British or an Australian accent. As long as it's a native English speaking country, it's fine. Accent allallo prashna avade. It's the pronunciation that matters. So, and then second enda parayunu. Note down what they say and make a note of words that are stressed, rising and falling intonations, words that are linked together. So ഏത് വേർഡിലാണ് സ്ട്രെസ്സ് കൊടുക്കേണ്ടത്, ഏത് വേർഡിനാണ് കൂടുതൽ റൈസ് ആൻഡ് ഫോൾ വരുമ്പോൾ ഏത് വേർഡിലാണ് നമ്മളത് ഇൻറ്റൊനേഷൻ കൊടുക്കേണ്ടത്. സോ when you listen to that, you can always pause and practice. So what does it say? The third point it says, record yourself saying the same thing. And the fourth one it says, compare your recording with the original and make note of any differences. So നമ്മൾ കേട്ടത്, you speak the same word, you repeat the same word, you record yourself, and then when you play, make sure it matches the same way. നമ്മൾ കേട്ട റെക്കോർഡിംഗ് ദ ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് സ്പീക്കർ പറഞ്ഞ സെയിം വേ ആണോ നമ്മൾ പ്രൊനൗൺസ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. ആൻഡ് വാട്ട് എൽസ്, റിപ്പീറ്റ് ദിസ് ഓഫൻ വിത്ത് ഡിഫറെൻറ്റ് ആക്സെൻറ്റ്സ് ആൻഡ് ഡിഫറെൻറ്റ് സിനാരിയോസ്. സോ പല സിനാറിയോയിലാണല്ലോ നമ്മൾ ഇത് വേർഡ്സൊക്കെ യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. സോ മേക്ക് ഷുവർ വെൻ യു ആർ പ്രാക്ടീസിങ് യു യൂസ് ദിസ് ഓൺ ഡിഫറെൻറ്റ് ആക്സെൻറ്റ്സ് and different scenarios. And when you practice, nammalidu practice cheyumbo you will get very comfortable, right? The more you practice, the better for you, and a better band score is what you're going to get. So practice, njan nerthe parnittu, practice is the only way to get a better band score or a good band score. So adiloru idiom njan idinu munpu njan parnittu, practice makes perfect. So you should practice what intonations nokkanam, edu word edu syllable stress kodukkanam, and then when you practice, it's going to be perfect for you. Okay, now let's move over to the next slide and let's see what does that say. Simple vocabulary. To get a good score on your vocabulary, that's called band descriptor aata vocabulary nu parayna lexical resource. You need to have a wide range of words that you can use for a wide range of topics. പല ടോപ്പിക്സ് ആണല്ലോ ചോദിക്കുന്നത് നമുക്ക്. സോ യു നീഡ് ടു ഹാവ് എ വൈഡ് റേഞ്ച് ഓഫ് വേർഡ്സ് ഫോർ എ വൈഡ് റേഞ്ച് ഓഫ് ടോപ്പിക്സ്. ടിപ്പ് എന്താണ് പറയുക, ഇഫ് യു ഫൈൻഡ് യു ലാക്ക് വൊക്കാബുലറി വെൻ ടോക്കിംഗ് അബൌട്ട് എ സർട്ടൻ ടോപ്പിക്, മേക്ക് എ വൊക്കാബുലറി ലിസ്റ്റ് ഇൻ യുവർ നോട്ട്ബുക്ക് ഓൺ ദാറ്റ് ടോപ്പിക്. ഇറ്റ് ക്യാൻ ബി എനി ടോപ്പിക്. ഫോർ എക്സാമ്പിൾ, ഇഫ് യു ഫീൽ ദാറ്റ് സ്പേസ് ഈസ് എ ചാലഞ്ച് ഫോർ യുവർ ഹെൽത്ത്, ടോപ്പിക് ഒരു ചാലഞ്ച് ആണ്, റൈറ്റ്? So you have so many vocabularies for space, so many vocabularies for health related aanengil. Make a list, right? Find a list, make wherever you are liking, and make a vocabulary list in your notebook on that topic. Okay, adutha endha cheyende ondakite, then read, listen or watch authentic text on that topic, and each time take around 10 new words. Okay, you read, you listen, you watch, and then take around 10 new words. There are lots of apps where you get synonyms. Our app nokkite synonyms like a vocabulary increase cheyan pattum. So check out, there are many apps. All you need to do is Google or Play Store poite download cheyyuva, and then use a word and then you get the synonyms, vocabulary namakku increase cheyan vendi, and then add them to your notebook list with a definition and example. So what does that mean? A definition and an example, right? And then use it on that topic. Practice speaking on that topic again and focus on incorporating the new word you have learned, right? So oru word nammal eduthu adu nammal texting eduthu allengi reading listening synonym nokki adinte, right? Definition and the example. Practice on your daily practice. Kore neram practice cheyumbo you will get that, it will be stored in your mind, and then you will be comfortable using the synonyms and those vocabulary in your day to day practice sessions, and once you go for your examination you will be perfect, right? Namakku adutha sana parayune short answers. Remember, the examiner is asking you a question to give you the opportunity to show them all of the English that you know. If you give a short answer like no or sometimes, then you're not giving the examiner much English to grade you on. So make sure short answers kodukale. For part 1, that is your first warm up sessions minimum, at least a minimum 3-4 sentences nammal kodutirikanam. അത് ഞാൻ നേരത്തെ, if you remember the first കുറേ നാൾ മുമ്പ്, I think it's a couple more than 3 or 4 months back, ഞാൻ how to practice your part 1 session അല്ലെങ്കിൽ warm up session ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ട്. Don't be specific. Personal questions ആണെങ്കിൽ at least 2-3-4 sentences പറഞ്ഞിരിക്കണം, right? Because the examiner has a job, he or she needs to mark you. അവർക്കൊരു മാർക്ക് കൊടുക്കണം on your speaking abilities. So make sure, don't give short answers. Try to stretch them and give the maximum you can. Okay, let's see what's the next slide. Top tips. എന്താണ് അതിനെ പറയുന്നത്? Practice the speaking test at home very often. Time yourself to try and replicate the real test situation. Record yourself so you can hear if you're able to speak long enough. If not, think of more details you could have given and try again. Very good. So endanadu parayunna, when you are practicing, time yourself. See, it's 1 minute of preparation and 2 minutes of speaking. Part 2 il angane aanallo, your cue card or your task card session. So you have 1 minute to prepare your task card and 2 minutes to speak on it. So whenever you're practicing at home or with your friend, wherever, make sure you time yourself and see, are you achieving the 2-minute goal? നമ്മൾ ആ 2-minute മാർക്ക് അച്ചീവ് ചെയ്യണുണ്ടോ ഇല്ലയോ, റൈറ്റ്? സോ ഇഫ് യു ആർ അച്ചീവിങ് ദ 2-minute മാർക്ക്, വെൽ ആൻഡ് ഗുഡ് ഇനഫ്, ഫൈൻ. ഇഫ് നോട്ട്, try to add more details, right? Try to stretch your speaking, but don't go off topic pole. Stay in the topic, whatever the questions are asked, and then talk about it in a detailed manner, give more details. Fine. അടുത്ത നമുക്ക് സ്ലൈഡ് നോക്കാം, എന്താണ് പറയുന്നത്. Opening to part 2, repeating the questions, right? In part 2, you only have 2 minutes to speak and show the examiner your best English. So don't waste it by just reading the opening line that's written down on the question paper. Okay, very important. ഞാൻ ഇത് നേരത്തെയും പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ട്. Whenever you get a question, cue card തന്നു, നമുക്ക് cue card കിട്ടി, right? You see the cue card, right? And you have the prompts, 4 prompt അല്ലെങ്കിൽ sub questions നമുക്ക് കിട്ടി. Don't just repeat the question that you got. ആ cue card in the question repeat ചെയ്യല്ലേ. It's always good to paraphrase it in your own word and then start, right? And that shows that you're good at English. So അതിൻ്റെ ടിപ്പ് എന്താ പറയുന്നത്? Instead, paraphrase and use a high level English phrase to start your answer. So instead of I'm going to describe a time when, right? You can say something like a few years ago, or I'd like to tell you about something that happened last year, right? And then go on to the subject topic. Our topic endana adu parangitte nammal we go ahead and start speaking on that topic. Question endana, cue card or a task card question endana adunodu. So just don't copy paste cheyale. Don't copy paste the question. Instead, paraphrase the question and then our topic question is, you also buy time or 15 to 20 seconds or 5 to 10 seconds easy by paraphrasing and topic question lot start ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ you gain that, you get that, right? Okay, നമുക്ക് അടുത്ത സ്ലൈഡിലോട്ട് പോയിട്ട് നോക്കാം. അടുത്ത സ്ലൈഡ്, what is it? Okay, common vocabulary and grammar mistakes. That's very common. I don't find issues with fluency ഒരു ഇഷ്യൂ ഞാൻ ഇതുവരെ ആദ്യം കാണത്തില്ല. The most common issues that I see here with my students here who come is vocabulary and grammatical mistakes ആണ് കൂടുതൽ mistakes വരുന്നത് vocabulary, because reading habit ഇല്ല. So one more thing, a tip that I can add here is to improve your vocabulary. Please incorporate yourself by reading. എത്ര വായിക്കുന്നു അത്ര നല്ലതാ. സ്റ്റാർട്ട് റീഡിങ് സ്മോൾ ആർട്ടിക്കിൾസ് or small whatever is your in field of interest. There are so many things. If you like something about music or something about arts and entertainment, start reading some magazines, newspaper, English newspapers, right? അതിൻ്റെ അകത്ത് കുറേ ന്യൂ വേർഡ്സ് ആൻഡ് വൊക്കാബുലറി നമുക്ക് കിട്ടും, right? And the same thing, once you start reading, tensesum kittum namakku. Whatever you read, you will come to know whether it's written in the past, കഴിഞ്ഞ സംഭവമാണോ, ഇപ്പം നടക്കുന്ന സംഭവമാണോ, അത് നടക്കാൻ പോകുന്ന സംഭവമാണോ. You also get a good hold of grammar as well when you read. So I always tell, ഇവിടെ ടിജൂസ് അക്കാഡമി ഇത്രവല്ല പിള്ളേർ വരും, നമ്മുടെ സ്റ്റുഡൻസ് എല്ലാം വരുമ്പോൾ we always tell the day 1 തൊട്ട് പറയും, when it comes to start reading. When you start reading, it improves your vocabulary as well as grammatical skills. Adu improve you, right? Okay, so let's see common vocabulary and grammar mistakes. What's the most common ones are ഞാൻ ഇവിടെ സെലക്ട് ചെയ്തേക്കുന്നത്. Very efficiency. So what does it? Very plus a noun. So to be very efficient or to do something very efficiently, right? So very efficiency alla, it's very efficiently. Right, explanation എന്താ നമുക്ക് നോക്കാം. Students frequently make the mistake of very plus a noun. Very plus a noun. So make sure you don't do that. Right, ആ mistake നമ്മൾ അവിടെ ചെയ്യാൻ പാടില്ല. എങ്ങനെ അത് മാറ്റാൻ പറ്റുന്ന? As I said before, നമ്മൾ കുറച്ച് couple of slides before, record your speaking practice, listen and listen for any time you say very. നമ്മൾ ഈ very വരുമ്പോൾ that letter VERY, very, make sure it is with an adverb or an adjective and not a noun or a verb. Right, very efficiency അല്ല, very efficiently. Right, so നമ്മൾ ഈ as I said, you are practicing, നമ്മൾ ഇത് പ്രാക്ടീസ് ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുക. When you are practicing, make sure when you're recording, you finish your recording, when you're listening, very varumbo, make sure it's not with a noun, make sure it's with an adverb or an adjective, right, and not a noun or a verb. Okay, so the first one, let's go over to the next slide and see what does the next slide say. Due to or because. I like dash because dash. So endana opinion or fact plus because, and then you give the reason. Right, I like chocolate because it's very tasty. So opinion or the fact plus because plus the reason why. Indinana, same thing with this is due to, what's the effect or the result, plus is due to and the reason. Mansilai. So this is due to the effect of heat. Right, ചൂട് കാരണമാണ് this is happening. This is due to the result of heat plus the reason because in the summers. Right, so due to and because. ഇവിടെ നമുക്കതിൻ്റെ explanation നോക്കാം. In English, it's best to use because in two ways. We can use that in two ways. What are these? To connect an opinion or fact with a reason. Fine. നമുക്ക് because use ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും to connect an opinion or a fact with a reason. രണ്ടാമത്തെ എന്താണ്? To respond to a why question. എന്തിനാണ്? Why? Right? Not a what, when or where question, etc. And when it comes to due to ആണെങ്കിൽ നമ്മൾ എങ്ങനെയാണ് ചെയ്യേണ്ടത്? In English, it's best to use due to in two ways. After a sentence that gives you an outcome or a result, the next sentence can start with this is due to dash to provide the reason as well. എന്തിനാണ്? This is due to the heat, the summer. അങ്ങനെ പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് നമ്മൾ മുമ്പോട്ട് and provide the reason. Right, and then what is it? You might also hear due to at the start of a sentence in public announcements or legal documents. Example endana adu namakku nokam. At the airport, due to severe weather, the flights were delayed or the flights will be delayed. Right, due to severe weather, right, extreme, when I don't know what do you call it, snow aanu, and the flights are not going to take off. Right, so due to severe weather, the flights will be delayed or the flights were delayed. However, this usage is not common in normal spoken English. Okay, fine. ഇനി നമുക്ക് അടുത്ത സ്ലൈഡിലോട്ട് പോയിട്ട് നോക്കാം. What does the next slide say? Okay, honest speaking and general speaking. Okay, honestly and generally speaking. Fine, explanation ഇതിൻ്റെയാണ്. So honestly speaking and generally speaking, these two are phrases used to start a sentence or preface an opinion. The word form doesn't change and is always adverb plus speaking. So idum nammal note here. Honestly speaking, I feel, or generally speaking, this is the scenario പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് നമ്മൾ മുമ്പോട്ട് പോവുക. So make sure normally grammar and vocabulary, make sure whenever you are practicing grammar and vocabulary, അത് നമ്മൾ നല്ലപോലെ പ്രാക്ടീസ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് you listen, make sure you're listening. Practice, record it. When you're practicing, record your listen, right? And make sure when you listen, നമ്മൾ എവിടെയാണ് ഈ മിസ്റ്റേക്സ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്, find out your mistakes and work on it. ആ മിസ്റ്റേക്സ് ഇനി നെക്സ്റ്റ് ടൈം വരില്ലേ. So make sure you, whenever you're practicing, record yourself, listen to it and find out the mistakes and work on it. Vocabulary ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞു കൊടുത്തു. There are lots of apps that help you give you synonyms of a word, the meaning as well. Adu nokka, practice you in your daily speaking practices. Same with grammar. Grammar evideyaanu tettennu. Where is my grammar going wrong? Is it the tenses? Right? Am I not using the correct tenses? Am I not pronouncing the words properly? Or adellam namukku, there are many apps. All you need to do is go to Play Store or just search, and that will help you. They will give you the meaning, they will give you how to pronounce that word, and always incorporate in your daily speaking practices. Fine. So these were a few tips and the mistakes that I find in my common mistakes that I find here. And I prepare a small slide for you so that this will help you in your speaking sessions. And I'll see you next time. Take care. Thank you very much for watching. This is Mon Korean signing off from Tiju's Academy, Tiruvalla. Take care. Goodbye.